My name is Todd Norian, and I'm the founder of Ashaya Yoga. Welcome to Asana Spotlight on this amazing winter solstice day, December 21st. Glad to see you. You know, Ashaya Yoga is the path of the heart, and you can join the community of heart followers by going to ashayayoga.com. So I hope you visit there and see all the great classes that are being offered. I have a New Year yoga retreat coming up on the 28th. From the 28th to the 31st, it's a 3.5-day course. What a great way to usher in the new year, getting all rejuvenated, meditation, asana, pranayama. We'll take some time to reflect on our intentions going into the new year. So please check that out. And then I've got a whole new set of classes coming up starting in January where you can get the all-inclusive pass and study with me 3 times a week. I think there's about 24 different classes throughout the month. And the all-inclusive includes a 2.5-hour Ashaya Yoga immersion workshop. You can also join just 13 classes, which are the Peace Pass, which is just the morning sadhana classes. Or you can just drop in one class at a time, pay as you go. So I look forward to seeing you in the new year. Now, today, in terms of the heart, there are 2 qualities that are needed for the heart. They're like special vitamins for the heart: wildness and steadiness. The heart loves surprises and to have some wildness, unpredictability. Actually, uncertainty feeds the heart because the heart gets really curious. But we also need steadiness to be able to keep our focus, to not get too wild, and to really stay connected to our North Star, the light of our purpose. And when you have a balance of these 2 qualities, wildness and steadiness, your heart opens and you recognize your true nature, which is joy and which is light. And that's what we're going for. Today's posture in Asana Spotlight is Setu Bandha Sarvanghasana, one of the best backbend poses you can do. It's also a therapeutic pose. So Setu Bandha, Setu is bridge, Bandha is to construct. Sarva means whole, anga is limb. So it's a whole limb asana. It's a posture that affects the entire body. So bridge pose. And it's interesting that these 2 qualities of wildness and steadiness also exist in nature, and they exist in the body in terms of the low back curve. Too much steadiness means that your back is going to be flat, where there really needs to be a sort of a wavy, wild curve. And we're going to learn how to optimize that curve because we need both wildness and steadiness in the low back for the health of the body. Let's get started, shall we? Come stand. And you're going to need a block. So starting off, come into Tadasana, take your block, put it between your upper inner thigh, short end forward, feet hip distance parallel, and squeeze. Imagine this was your Pez. You are a human Pez dispenser. And let me show you from the side here. If you have too much steadiness, we're going to be doing this. The thighs pop forward and the low back gets pretty flat. Also, you'll notice the belly pops forward, the shoulders round, and then you've also got head forward position. So too much steadiness in the low back creates a whole host of problems. Too much wildness, here, try this, take your thighs back, gives you the sway back. Okay, the chest is way out in front, but the hips and pelvis way back. You're really out of alignment. So think of a plumb line from the ear to the shoulder to the hip, greater trochanter, which is the thigh bone, knob on the thigh, all the way down to the ankle, needs to be in one line. Wildness and steadiness. Take your thighs back with wildness until the greater trochanter, which is this bone right on the side of the hip, is in alignment with the ankle. Then you keep that as you add the steadiness. Pull your tailbone in. Okay, avoid doing this. Wildness, steadiness. Wildness, steadiness. You can save that for another time. But you take your thighs back and then tailbone in together. So you've got curve and length. Palms in front. Inhale, squeeze the block, stretch your arms up. And then exhale, fold forward. Move your thigh bones back, but pull your tailbone in. Come down to the floor or touch another block if you can't reach. Rest your head, your neck, just relax, take some breaths. And then hug your legs toward the middle, lift your toes up. This is going to get all your muscles to tone. Even the arches of your feet will lift. And then pull up from your feet to the pelvis. When the arches of the feet lift, the pelvic arch lifts, the pelvic floor goes up. Think of the bottoms of your feet are like the pelvic floor. There's like a diaphragm here, and there's a diaphragm in the pelvis. And so lift your toes and pull up, feet go up, pelvic floor tones, which is very important. Inhale, heart forward, halfway up, and then exhale, bow, look in to the dark. There's a steadiness there. And then inhale, lift your heart, shine your light out, go for wildness, and then exhale, bow, pull it in. On this solstice day, shine your light into the darkness, inhale. And then exhale, embrace the dark. Darkness, it's nourishing, like dark soil nourishes the seed. This is a time to plant new seeds of intention. Inhale, heart. How do you want to improve your life next year? Exhale, bow. Root down through your feet. Sweep your arms out to the side. Come all the way up. Again, take your thighs back. Move the block back. Tailbone in. And then exhale. Release. Remove your block. Come to the front of your mat. Hug your legs toward the middle. Feel and sense the vibration of that block there. And then without the block, just move your thighs back. Wildness, tailbone in. Steadiness. Find the place of balance. When you're in balance, that's the threshold. Your heart opens up. There's an awareness that you get because everything's flowing. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, heart halfway forward. Exhale, step back, downward dog pose. Alternately press your heels. Get the calves stretched out a bit. Warm up the thighs. And then bend both knees. Now see if you can do wildness and steadiness in downward dog. So bend your knees a lot. And then turn your thigh bones in and generate a low back curve. You got to really lift the inner edges of your sitting bones up. Then tail in. Look at your hands. Claw the pads underneath your fingernails and the roots of your hands. And you're going to pull pads and roots all the way up so your armpits lift. And then melt the heart toward the earth more. We want an earthy heart, but the arm bones have to lift. And then from your heart, just push through your hands, lengthen your arms. And from your heart, try to root your heels more toward the floor. So you get a whole body stretch here. Good. Exhale. Right leg forward. Come onto your left hand. Stretch your right arm up and twist to the right. Exhale back to center. Stretch your right leg straight. Roll up onto the right heel. Root the heel down. Isometrically drag backwards and bow. And then bend your right knee. Hug your legs to the middle. Sweep your arms out to the side. Come up. Pull in from your feet all the way into the pelvic core. Steadiness. Lift your back thigh. Tailbone in. And then from your pelvis, just push through the left heel and push forward through the right shin. Rise up through your spine. Good. Reach up toward the light. On this day, the shortest day of the year, least amount of light, let's savor it. Let's bottle it. And then exhale, sweep your arms out to the side, come on down. Step back, downward facing. Exhale, left foot forward. Hug your legs to the middle. Come onto your right hand, left arm up. And breathe. Come back to center, stretch your left leg straight, roll to the left heel, root the heel down, and drag it backwards isometrically. Let the breath flow freely in and out. And then bend the left knee, scissor your legs, sweep up. Good. Pull up from your feet to the pelvic core. Draw in steadiness. And then with wildness from your pelvis, just push through the right heel and the left shin and rise up more. And breathe. Lift your right thigh up a little bit more. That's the same as taking your thighs back. So there's wildness. Pull your tailbone in with steadiness, and you take the outer left hip crease back and down. This is called pelvic integration. And breathe. Exhale, release, come down into plank pose. Okay, show me thighs back, so it's here, and then tailbone in. So your torso is, and your whole body is relatively straight, carpenter's dream, flat board. Lift the sides of your throat up. Exhale, come down through chaturanga, all the way down. Point your toes. Take a breath and soften. Then squeeze your shins toward the middle. Pull from your feet up to the pelvis. Now, inner rotate your thighs, so take your thigh bones back here, which is up toward the ceiling. And that creates a back curve. And then pull your tailbone in for steadiness. And inhale, come up, cobra. We need more steadiness, more tailbone action in back bends. And then claw your hands, isometrically pull backwards. Lift your side ribs, head of the arm bones back. Try to lift through your neck, head back, and the skull up. Good. And exhale down, push back, downward facing dog pose. You got this. Good. And bend your knees, come on down. So now let's go into Setu Bandha Sarvanghasana. We're going to do it a few times with a few different positions for the block. So the first position is you put the block widthwise like this, flat side down, between your feet. And especially between the inner edge of the big toe ball mounds. So this is approximately hip distance. You can put the narrow side in if your hips are not this wide. You could use two blocks if you have very wide hips. And then come on down on the floor. Your heel should be a few inches away from your hips, not too close in. And bend your elbows by your sides, palms parallel, fingers up. Lengthen your sides. Take the head of your arm bones back, lift your throat. And then focus on your low back for a sec. And inner rotate your thighs to get your low back to arch up. And I'd like you to over exaggerate the arch now. You can really feel it. Okay, that's too much, but it's good to get the contrast. And then just try pull your tailbone in, and then we hear this instruction a lot is knit your low back into the floor or flatten your low back all the way down. So it's good for the abs, but it's not so good for your spinal discs. So we're going to avoid that. Rather, what we really need, and this is what the heart needs, is a balance of both curve and length. So inner rotate your thighs, get the curve, and then lightly pull your tailbone such that you can still put your hand under your back. There's still a little bit of space there. Okay, keep that. Now squeeze the block with the sides of your feet. Hug in. Pull from your feet up to your palate, and then slowly lift your hips. Again, drag your heels backwards isometrically to the palate. And then squeeze the block. Inner rotate your thighs, but pull your tailbone in. Move your inner thighs toward the earth, but your hips go up toward the sky. Two contrasting energies. Curl your shoulder blades into the back of the heart. Lift your heart. But I'd like you to lift your chin so that no part of your neck is on the floor. Even push the head of your arm bones back into the floor more. Push your elbows down so that your neck is floating off the floor. Just the head, back of the head is down. Then from your palate, root the back of your skull and start to extend forward through your torso, your hips, your thighs, out through your knees, and then back down through your feet. Now, ultimately, you want your ankles directly vertical underneath your knees. It's difficult to see unless someone's watching you. So just get it close. And exhale, come on down. You may have noticed that your glute muscles, the buttock muscles there, got a good workout. Number 2, put the block between your knees. Now, this can be either the very narrow side of the block or the second narrow part, a little bit wider here. I'm going to go a little bit wider. And try to squeeze the block right between your knees, sides of your knees. Okay, so you get a good grip on the block. Now, this is going to employ more connection with your thighs, especially inner thighs. So squeeze, lift your chin a little bit. Shoulder blades, just hug under. And then inhale, come up. I'd like you to really squeeze your knees into the block. Lift and spread your toes as well. Lift your heart. Very good. Now, inner rotate your thighs. Imagine you could push the block down with your inner knees. Push it down, tailbone in, and then lift your hips higher. Take some full deep breaths way up into the top of your lungs and your heart. Good. Experiment with a different arm position. Try palms down on the floor and push the palms into the floor. And exhale, come on down. You can feel all the work in your legs with the block on the knees. Rest. Last variation. Put the block now, like we did in the beginning in Tadasana, Pez position. So narrow side is in. Bend your elbows by your side, squeeze, and then move the block back. With wildness, arch your back. And then with steadiness, pull your tailbone in, but not so much that you flatten. So remember, keep a little bit of the wildness. The heart loves that. And then inhale and go up. I'm going to give you a little bit more of a challenge here. Lift your toes, come up onto your heels, and dig your heels down. Now this is the world of glutes. So you really are you're gonna tone the glutes here, which is one of the benefits of Setu Bandha, is that it engages the glutes. It wakes the glutes up. We can sometimes lose access to the glutes. It's called gluteal amnesia. This will cure that for sure. And then you pull from your heels into the palate. And then inner rotate the thighs. So move the block toward the floor. Pull your tailbone in and lift your hips up. With wildness, get the curve, block down, and with steadiness, hips up. And then from your palate, root the back of your head down, the neck is off the floor, and extend out through your knees. Now try to grow your thigh bones longer. You're still on your heels. Yeah. Okay, for those of you that want to stay in it, root your left heel down, lift your right heel off the floor. Yes, hang in there. Good, and then switch, right heel down, push the right heel into the floor. Can you lift your left heel? Yeah. Talk about buns of steel. You got it going now. Both heels down, and exhale. Release, remove the block. Oh, place your hands on your belly and just take some deep breaths. Let it all go. And then roll to your right side and slowly come up. sit for a moment. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Take some breaths. Feel the effect of Setu Bandha Sarvanghasana through the whole body. Whole body energized, alive. The heart balanced with a sense of wildness, just like full expression. Energy is wildness. We want that in the heart. It's like a passion to live life fully. At the same time, steadiness, to stay focused, connected to who you are, connected to your purpose. And when those two qualities, wildness and steadiness, are balanced, your heart opens. So draw into your heart for a moment. On this solstice day, may we shine the light in the darkness and be grateful for the darkness, because without the dark, we wouldn't even know what light is. And it is often through being courageous to step into the dark that we discover a brighter light. And let's share that in the world today. Let's let this light guide us on the path of the heart. We'll take a deep breath now and chant Om. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. All right, share this with a friend. Spread the light. Come join the Heart Followers at ashayayoga.com. Take care. See you again soon. Happy solstice.